Hey y'all, welcome back to the Free Black Women's Library YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you for liking this video and thank you for subscribing to my channel. It's the end of the season. I'm talking about Harlem season 2, episode 8. It's the finale. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like that went by so quick. Like 8 episodes, each one less than 40 minutes. It went by very quickly. And I do hope we get a season 3 because once again, we end on this huge cliffhanger. But let's talk about it. So, the name of the episode is Joy, Joy, Joy. And this is inspired by Camille's new project. Camille is focusing on Black joy as opposed to motherhood, as we learned in episode 7. And I don't know about y'all, but it kind of felt like Camille was doing all this work by herself. But she curated this art show. It's a beautiful art exhibit. And she also made this film featuring Quinn, Ty, Angie, and herself talking about what joy is to them, what Black joy is to them. It's a beautiful episode. It's a beautiful art show. And we see that Camille has figured out that she does not want to have children after multiple moments of contemplation. There's a moment when she is with Ian at the brownstone, and he's talking about their kids, Langston and Zora, playing in the backyard. Cute names, Ian, and turning a room into a nursery. And Camille kind of has this look on her face, and you can tell that she's starting to process that she doesn't want to have kids. You can kind of tell, if you can kind of tell what's coming. At the end of the day, she lets Ian know that she doesn't want to be a mom. She has decided she wants to focus on work and her career. Curating the art show, doing these special projects is what gives her that feeling that she thinks some people get from motherhood. Okay, Camille, good for you. I'm proud of Camille for making this decision. I'm proud of Camille for telling Ian directly how she feels. It's sad that they broke up, but their connection was kind of toxic anyway. So, my opinion, I feel like them breaking up made sense. So, if they get back together, I'm gonna be annoyed, but either way. So that's pretty much the end of Camille's story. She doesn't want kids. And all these other schools, Spelman, there's a bunch of schools that are mentioned that come to the art show that are interested in working with her, interested in talking to her. As you know, this is supposed to be her last semester at Columbia. We see Dr. Pruitt is finally impressed with something that Camille has done and is reconsidering letting her go. So she may end up being offered a contract to stay at Columbia, maybe get tenure. That would be cool. I don't know how these things work, but that's probably not realistic. Either way, Dr. Pruitt says she's reconsidering letting her go. And Jameson says, so am I. So Camille is glowing. And it is true that witnessing someone have a huge success makes them more attractive, possibly because it makes them more confident. This appeal with Camille is great. We get to see her feeling really proud and excited, really determined and purposed. Her mom comes to the art show. That was a nice surprise. So good for Camille. Things end on a happy note for Camille. Now with Ty, um, Ty says joy is power, and I partially agree. Ty has launched a new app, a new site called P, which is a sister site to the app Q. P is for couples who want to become thruples or have threesomes, or as Angie calls it a devil's three-way, two men and a woman. I'm not sure what makes that devilish, but Ty has created this app and she's feeling proud of herself and excited. And she is at the plant shop returning the dead orchid. And Amy asks her out on a date. So we established that Amy is much older than Ty, but not that much older that they can't date. We established that Amy is not interested in some type of rich, fancy, high-end meal. She doesn't need to be impressed. She already likes Ty for who she is. And Ty has a really funny moment where she talks about how being vulnerable and soft in front of Amy is maybe possibly what made her more attractive, and it's cute. They go on their date, they have good chemistry. They go to a place called Famous Fish, which Amy chooses where they go. Famous Fish is a real place in Harlem, located on 145th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue. It's a family business and a seafood spot. And that line that you saw, that's a Friday night line at Famous Fish. Their food is delicious. You get a stack of fish and two pieces of wheat bread or white bread for, I'm not sure how much. Last time I went there was years ago, and it was probably like $7. And it's just this little tiny hallway. There's no place to sit and eat. Everything is to go. They have shrimp, they have fries. So we find out that Amy is fluid, pansexual. She dates men and women. She was married, and her relationship with this man did not go well. But out of it, she got her daughter, and she says, and so it was worth it because her daughter is the best person that she's ever known. These words really resonated with me. The relationship was trash in the beginning, the middle, and the end, but I got an amazing child out of it. That's an overshare. Deeply, deeply, deeply relatable. So Ty and Amy are at the end of their date and they kiss. And Amy says she wants to take it slow. So, and sex is this sport. And once you've done it, it just becomes, it doesn't have the same value. Agree. Very interesting that we find out that Amy's daughter, Zoe, is very sexually casual, and her mom is a little bit withdrawn and not as quick to engaging in sexual activities. That contrast was significant and worth teasing out a little bit, at least for me as a mom of a young person. And at first, she doesn't want to do anything with Ty. So Ty goes home, gets a text from Zoe. Zoe's like, "You up?" Zoe goes over there. Things are getting hot and heavy with the. One of my critiques about this show is how. Let me not talk about that. Either way, Amy changes her mind and asks Ty to come over so they could lay in the bed and cuddle and talk. Ty is intrigued. She's never done anything like that before. Usually, when she's in bed with a woman she's attracted to, they're having sex. Either it's post-coitus, pre-coitus, or in-coitus. Ty needs to go to the bathroom. Mind you, she left Zoe high and dry as soon as Amy texted her. She goes to the bathroom. Amy says, "Watch out for my kid. They might be asleep." The toilet flushes. Ty turns around. Out comes Zoe. This was a really good plot twist. Really good plot twist. So Ty is in between her sex buddy side piece and this new person that she's been dating for a few days. What to do, what to do. Amy knew that Ty was seeing somebody in a sexual way and that it wasn't serious. We don't know if Amy knows Zoe's toxicity, how she, we don't know if Amy knows that her daughter has been this toxic lesbian. We don't know. Hopefully we get a season 3 so we can dig that out. Now let's talk about Angie. Angie finds out that Quinn's mom was trying to hook her up with Michael in the girls trip episode at the very end. And the way Quinn responds, Angie feels like she's being judged. Quinn says, "My Michael." Angie's been calling him Mike this whole time. So now there's this tension between them because Angie feels like Quinn might be jealous or might feel some type of way about the fact that she is dating somebody that her mom tried to set her up with. This plot line didn't really make sense to me because Quinn was obviously not interested in Michael. So it's giving another kind of self-sabotagey, I don't deserve good things on Angie's part, because Quinn does not care about your relationship, Angie. She does not care. She's dating Keith. They refer to themselves as Queef in episode 7, which not a cute nickname. It's too close to Queef. Okay. Anywho, Angie ends up breaking up with Michael because she feels like her relationship with Michael is going to damage things between her relationship with Quinn, which is not true. She actually broke up with Michael because she felt like he was too good and she wasn't sure if she could be in a real relationship. So she gets over that and he ends up proposing to her in a really sweet romantic way with her blanket and some Funyuns and mimosas, which is pomegranate juice in mimosa, which sounds delicious. Y'all already know that this relationship between Michael and Angie feels a little bit too quick and a little bit too unreal to me. I am a bit of a cynic when it comes to falling in love and all that stuff, but I just don't feel like they've known each other long enough and gone through the real processes. Like, I feel like they're still in the honeymoon stage of their relationship. But hey, let me not be a Grinch. So Angie and Michael, yeah, I guess they're engaged. Lastly, but not leastly, Quinn is taking her meds. I thought it was weird that she was drinking, but maybe these are the type of meds that you can have alcohol with. Not judging. I'm not judging, I swear. But Quinn is taking her meds and she seems to be a little bit more stable. She's not interested in Michael at all. Michael, when Angie breaks up with Michael, he comes by her shop and tells her, "I thought you didn't even like me, but Angie broke up with me because she feels like her dating me is weird for you. So what's the tea? What's the deal?" And Quinn's like, "Literally, I do not like you." It's not working. There's a funny little bit with this white woman and plaid where Quinn tells her it's not cultural appropriation if you wear plaid, even though you're not from Scotland. And then the woman leaves in like a full Nigerian, West African style dress with like door knocker earrings. I saw what y'all did there. So this conversation between Michael and Quinn is kind of deep because he tells her, I really love Angie. For a long time, I only liked people who liked me because I didn't want to be alone. And then I realized that I had to spend some time alone to really love myself before I could be my full self in a relationship. Exactly. I don't know if Quinn is not going to therapy, but I'm glad somebody told her. He didn't tell her as if this is what you need to do. He told her as if this is what I did. This is how I came to this realization that I love Angie. The way he says it to her, you can see it in her eyes. The acting of Grace Byers is really great in this scene because you can see it in her eyes. There's a little bit of a click of understanding. As a result, Quinn ends up breaking up with Keith because she says to Michael, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else? Famous words of RuPaul. For those of you who watch Drag Race, I recognize the quote immediately. Michael doesn't know who RuPaul is and doesn't watch Drag Race. Need to fix that, buddy, because that's one of Angie's favorite shows. So this was a really good moment for Quinn. I'm glad that we got to see this in the finale. We got to see Quinn stand on her own. She's been so thirsty for a relationship for the past 2 seasons. It was wonderful to see her stand on her own and take herself out on her own dream date. Date yourself. Take yourself out. Spend time with yourself. There's this really wonderful book called The Artist's Way, written by a woman named Julia Cameron. And in it, she talks about taking yourself on artist dates. I highly, highly recommend doing this, whether you're singled, married, coupled, in a throuple, make sure to date yourself. It was wonderful to see Quinn on that boat, listening to music, looking at the water, enjoying her own company. It's about damn time, girl. I'm so happy for you. And that was pretty much the end of the episode. I do want to give a shout out to Aunt Tammy. It was good to see Aunt Tammy again. Turns out she's been married 4 times. And as a result, I guess she's getting alimony from each one of those marriages because Aunt Tammy is flush with cash, so much so that she's able to give Ian a check for $68,000. I love Aunt Tammy. She's one of my favorite side characters of this show. Her and cousin Nikki, Ty's cousin Nikki. Those are two of my favorite side characters on this show. I love them both. They always bring the spice, they always bring the fashion and the cute little funny like one-liners. And there it is. I wrote down something that Aunt Tammy said. She said, life gives a little, but it takes a lot. Woo! Felt that in my spirit. Aunt Tammy felt that in my spirit. And that's pretty much it for episode Joy, Joy, Joy. Those are all my notes. Before I sign off, congratulations to everyone that worked on season 2. I really enjoyed this season, and I hope that we get a season 3. It ends on a cliffhanger of this lovely doctor telling them, all 4, that the baby is fine and you are fine too. Which one of them is pregnant? We know it's not Ty, right? It could be Quinn, it could be Angie, or it could be Camille. The chances of it being Camille is my first guess because of the whole thing with the Nuva ring falling out when her and Ian were having all that cannabis, marijuana, THC sex. So Camille's my first guess, especially because in that last shot, she looks the most shocked and shook. She's my first guess, but maybe they'll give us another plot twist and make it Angie. I hope it's not Quinn, because Quinn really needs to be alone. She really needs to get into her alone bag and fully find herself. She's been too thirsty for another person. Remember when she said in episode 7, I just think I'm not the type of person who's supposed to be alone. Girl, you're a walking red flag. So I hope that the pregnant person is Angie, because that would be the best happy ending, considering she's in a stable, happy, loving relationship right now. And she is the funniest one out of all of them in terms of like physical comedy. So I could see a lot of physical comedy, fun stuff, hilarious one-liners happening with the baby. We shall see. Which one of them do you think is pregnant? And let me know if there's any shows that I should react to, because now that this show is over, what's going to happen with my content? I know Run the World is coming in the spring, but if there's anything on the radar that you feel like I should check out, please let me know. Please leave it in comments. Remember to subscribe. Let me know what you think of this season. Whose storyline did you like, etc., etc. And thanks for watching. Bye. Mwah.